Yeah, Tanner got slammed by his cat easily. Run over, actually. Literally run over. We are live. B's and G's.
Really?
I will now welcome you to the Dropshot, a podcast. Episode number... I don't know, man. 522? Is that what they're saying?
For sure.
It's one of the episodes. That's a YouTube.
Know what I should get? Talar is giving me a fantastic idea. Put some art on that wall. I should get some AI art and put it on the wall right there. Just piss you guys the fuck off.
That's an exceptional idea.
Because artists shouldn't exist anymore. Because AI art is better and it's free. So
and more soulful as well. Mm-hmm. It's also more soulful.
Yep. So that's all I'm doing, of course.
Yeah. So that's a great fucking idea. I'll do the same. And welcome everybody to the Absolute Show, the program, as we call it. And today we have an episode that may or may not be about Call of Duty, because what we're actually doing is answering some questions from our dear listeners. Why is that? Why not?
Felt like it.
Why not?
Because it was that or cancel the pod, so that's what we decided on.
Yeah. Because nothing's happening. Nothing's going on in the Call of Duty world. Actually, that's not true. I guess there is a CDL event going on right now. I was unaware of this until I turned on Twitch today, he said, as a 100-year-old, and saw Swag was there, I guess. And why do we care is a great question. The answer to which is we don't care.
Okay.
So that's happening, I guess. But yeah, if you want to hear about that, go somewhere else then, because you won't hear any more about it here.
Oh, World Series of Warzone got announced. Don't know anything about it, but it got announced. So that's cool. There will be a World Series of Warzone this year. Imagine World Series of Warzone on Verdansk. Oh, probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlikely it's on a date for anything, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's an announcement without any content, because obviously there's going to be a World Series of Warzone. Yeah, exactly. And which they did last year, which is an insane thing to do, by the way. So I hope that helps. Anyway, that's pretty much it as far as announcements go. Tanner needs a nap. And then other than that, we just released a Patreon bonus app for all of our fucking patrons. And we got a little off course in it.
And we won't be talking about it here. Yeah. But if you're a game developer hater like we are, boy, will you love this bonus episode. Oh, no.
So we'll just leave it at that. But it's getting rave reviews in the Cord. So you should maybe go listen to it. And that's fucking it. So
season 4 next week?
Yeah, so we should have some actual shit to talk about next week. We'll have season 4, we'll get patch notes, and then we'll obviously get the update.
Yes, patch notes.
And then we will talk about those things. And I hope that helps as well. So keep that inside of your mind.
Yeah.
That's cool. Streamings. All right.
If you guys have questions, ask in chat. We're lifting the $5 fee today because the channel is gaming and COD questions, and I would also like to answer some questions that are not gaming and COD related. So put them in chat, and if they're not completely horrific, we might answer them. So
okay.
Thanks.
Yep. Still a $5 fee though. So
okay.
Yeah. So keep that in mind.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So with that said, to the Cord.
That's a Cord.
This is kind of a funny question from Only Slightly Bad, slightly less young Evan. What is more cringe to be a super fan of, esports or bog standard sports?
This, I think, I think there's more to discuss here, actually. Obviously, it's obviously esports is cringe, but here's what I want to get into. Here's what I don't like about sports.
Is that shit you don't like?
Don't like people who get crazy into college football and they wear UCLA shirts, they wear USC hats, they put license plate frames on their car, and they never went there.
Yeah, yep.
That bugs the motherfucker out of me.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of people disagree with that. There's like, I mean, it's no different than just following a sports team. But in my opinion, it is. Because it's a school, and you're tied to the school. Like Ben's family, they're all big UCLA fans. Not a single one of them went to UCLA.
Yeah.
They've got the shirts. They've got the fucking art on their wall. They've got the UCLA folding chairs when they go to like events, and I don't like it. I think that's weird, and it bugs me. You shouldn't be a super nerd fan of a college sports team you did not attend, and that pisses me the fuck off. So but being a super fan of esports, I mean, it's incredibly embarrassing. Incredibly.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
If you're like 18, it's understandable. If you're above the age of like, what's the cutoff? Like 28, 26, 25, 24?
Well, it depends what 20? Super fan means.
Optic shirt, optic flag on your wall, optic controller.
The cutoff for an optic flag on your wall is fucking 19? 13. Holy shit. You can't do that. That is fucking insane. That's an insane thing to do. No, I don't know what the real cutoff would be. But pretty young, yeah. Certainly.
I'll be nice. I'll say like 23.
Yeah, 23 certainly before your 30s. 23, I guess, is fine. It's all cringe, though. Here's when it's not cringe. Okay, like Tanner just said, if you went to that school, if we're talking about like college, cool. If you lived in that city, so like you're from LA, and you're like a Lakers or Clippers for some reason fan, don't be a super fan of anything. That's always cringe. But if you're just like a regular fan, fine, okay. Or if you were a member of Optic or whoever. So like, what team was Nadeshot on? What org was he in?
He was on Optic, and he owns or did own 100 Thieves.
Okay, so if he's a super fan of Optic, cool. He should be. I also would be if I had been on that team.
Yeah.
But if not, be a normal bog standard fan. Don't be a super one. And if you're like painting your face, I don't know if anyone would actually do that for a LAN event. That would bother the fuck out of me. Yeah, it's insane, obviously. I guess I would say like, so whatever city Optic is from, if you live in that city, then like, okay, you can be a fan. I think it's also a little different. Didn't ask. If for like orgs, because you're probably a fan of like, well, I don't know how it is anymore. Do like the people, who's the best team in the CDL right now? And follow up, do any of those people like stream?
The FaZe squad.
Okay. Are any of them like streamers, or are they just scrimming all the time?
Not streaming. I don't know if they're streamers, but
Raj. So like that would be another thing. Like if I was like a big fan of, I don't know, like if Tiggs joined FaZe, I would be a FaZe fan, but it's really because I'm a Tiggs fan. But I would never be a super fan. That's the thing. That's the issue. But what is more cringe, to be a super fan of esports or regular sports? Probably esports. Because at least regular sports, there are a ton of other lunatics that are also super fans of whatever team you love. So there's like a good reason to be a super fan of the Oakland Raiders, or they're not Oakland anymore. Wherever the fuck Raiders.
Apparently they're somewhere. Vegas? Where are they at? Vegas?
Sure. So like, if you're a super fan of the Vegas Raiders.
That sounds right. LA Raiders? I don't know.
At least you can like go to a tailgate and interface with other real human beings and like make friendships because of it.
Fellow gang members, yeah.
Some other vatos, yes. At least when they were in Oakland, the Mexicans loved the Raiders. Shout out Mexicans. Friends of the pod. Tanner's married to one, so keep that in mind.
They've moved on to, well, they didn't move on, but they now have just, those people are now fully into the Dodgers. Big Dodger fans. And they already were.
The Doyers,
but now for some reason, since Oakland moved out of California, even though they lived in LA and to Vegas, now they're not fans of them, I guess.
Yeah, even though they lived in LA, true.
Yeah, so now it's the Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like if you're like a super fan, it's all embarrassing. But like if you're a super fan of like a real sports team, there's like shit to do around that. So like at least you're like, I don't know, like I could see a reason to do it. Like you make friends, you hang out with people that are like-minded. And it is fun to like get super excited about your team or whatever. In some ways, in many ways, I envy it. I wish I was that excited about football season. Holy shit. I wish I could care that much because that would be fun. It'd be fun to be deeply emotionally invested in a fucking sports team, actually. Because that would be cool. Like,
you should try it, man. Get into a sports team.
I can't. That's the thing. That's the interesting thing is I can't give a fuck about what some grown men I've never met are doing in an arbitrary game. Now, that's not to say sports are bad or anything. Sports are cool. I enjoy that sports exist. Do I enjoy watching them? Fuck no. Do I enjoy playing them? I used to, but I'm not anymore. But yeah, being the super fan is insane. But if you're a super fan of an esport, what do you guys hop in Discord together when Optic is on match point?
What time does Optic play? When does Optic? They all chat to each other on Twitter. Yeah, on the Optic posts about it.
They have their VTuber avatars in a little virtual room together, sucking each other off in Optic skinned furry costumes. This is an insane thing to do. So you're getting nothing out of that, but
yeah.
But again, being a normal fan, cool, great. Don't be a super fan though. That's insane. And I hope.
And then on top of that, there are also levels of cringe when it comes to the esport. Being a super fan of CDL, Call of Duty, competitive, you're bottom of the barrel. That's also why it's even more embarrassing when it's Call of Duty related, because it's the easiest, shittiest, most dog shit, trash, boring competitive video game out there. So, that's obviously the worst. Like things like watching Counter-Strike, like games like that, they're just a lot more exciting watching the pro. Even like Apex probably is a lot more exciting. Like watching Fortnite tournaments, a hell of a lot more exciting. But like COD, being a super fan of a CDL team, let's stop. Let's not with that, you know?
Yeah.
Let's give that up.
Yeah, let's retire that. Yeah. Although also I will say, apparently, I've heard this once, so I'm going to pretend it's for sure true. In Korea, South Korea, obviously, League of Legends is like enormous.
Yeah.
League of Legends and those teams are like football teams in the United States. Like that's the level of crazy manic fandom. And if that's true, then don't be a super fan of anything again, but at least you'd get something out of it there. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways.
But yeah, overall esports. Yeah. Yeah. And also they shouldn't be called esports. Obviously.
Okay.
And I think we've talked about that, but it's not a fucking sport. Fat fuck. All right. Damn. So this is a great follow-up question from Nebstifer. What's more cringe, being a super fan of a streamer or a traditional celebrity? It's another good question.
This might be a hot take, man, but being a super fan of a celebrity might be more cringe. I'll be honest. It might almost be more cringe.
Oh.
Because think about like, think about like, if you're watching Tim the Tap Man, at least you can like watch and it feels like you're interacting more. But to just be like a super fan of, I don't know, Jessica Alba. Like, you've never seen the person in real life. Like, what are we doing? You're like getting obsessive over. I don't know. At least with the streamers, you can kind of interact with. Don't get me wrong. It's incredibly embarrassing to sit in your room and type in some person
hashtag
chat that has
barbecue
30,000 that has 30,000 followers. If it's a smaller streamer, like sub whatever amount for them to respond to you. I mean, even like Tiggs will talk to people in chat and he's got like 1,000 viewers. That's fine. But yeah, like if you're chatting in like Jinxie's stream when he has 80,000 viewers, that's autism. Congratulations, I've diagnosed you. So hope that helps.
Yeah.
That's weird, but yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of situations, being a super fan of a celebrity is worse somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will also say, another question you could ask is...
That's the question, man.
Is it more cringe to be a super fan of any like team or org or an individual? So for example, what's worse? Being a super fan of like Scump or Optic?
I think the org.
Probably the org?
I don't know why, but that's what I think.
I wonder. That's a hard question. I actually don't know how I'd answer that. But back to this question. Okay, so like, well, dude, when I think of like super fan of traditional celebrity, I think of a genuine stalker. Like celebrities have lots of stalkers. So that's insane. Yeah. But also streamers have stalkers too. They're all the female streamers.
They sure do.
They've got lots of stalkers also. So if we're setting stalkers aside, I don't know. Cause like Daniel Day-Lewis, for example, you know who that is, right?
I know the name. Who is
I drink your milkshake. That guy. He's an actor. That's what you need to know. He's an actor, and he's like a method actor. And a lot of people who are really into like movies and shit fucking love Daniel Day-Lewis. Because he's like the most hardcore, insane actor. And actually, the stories I've heard of him, he sounds pretty based. He's fucking dedicated. So like they were doing Gangs of New York, and he'll just get in character for like 2 years, only talk in that accent, only act like that character, and then filming starts. Like actually he'll do this. He's a lunatic. This is an insane person that's deeply mentally ill. However, turns out you can act really well if you do that.
Yeah.
There was another role he took where he was like a cobbler. So he wasn't a pie. He was a guy who like makes shoes or whatever cobblers are or do. So again, like years before the shooting started, he moved to fucking like rural Scotland or something and like apprenticed under a cobbler to learn how to cobble. Just to act. And that's insane. However, some people are huge fans of his because he's a really good actor as a result. And I understand it. But like, are you a fan of him or are you a fan of his work is the difference. I think those are like different. Whereas if you're a super fan of a streamer, you're just a fan of that person. Like you like their personality. You probably like their gameplay and shit too or whatever. But Like you like
yes,
their
you're
personality.
Just wrong about everything, I guess. Yeah, he just quit acting to become a cobbler.
Oh, is that what happened?
That's what. Well, hold on a second.
He's done a bunch of crazy shit like that.
That's what we're being told. That's what it looks like, though. Yeah. He took a 5-year break from acting, and then it looks like that's what he does now. I don't know. Interesting.
Okay, I got it mixed up then. But he is.
Yeah.
Look up. If you want to, you guys can look this up if you don't believe me. He's done shit like that. I think the one where he was a boxer, that makes more sense though, actually. That's not that insane. You should probably learn how to box if you're going to be a boxer. But there's other shit like that. That's insane. You guys should look it up. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, lunatic. Google that and you'll find stories. So, but anyway, whatever. But yeah, when you're a super fan of that, it's like, I think that's different. Like, no one knows who Daniel Day-Lewis is personally. They just know like his work. They're like fans of like his work. Whereas if you're like a super fan of like, pick a streamer, who's popular?
Tim the Tap Man.
Tim the Tap Man.
Dr. Disrespect, he's got a weird following.
Yeah, and those people are like, they're not fans of Dr. Disrespect's gameplay at all, right? They're fans of like him. Or his character, I guess. But like Tim the Tap Man too. It's a better example. He's like, he doesn't like play a character. So people are just fans of him. And I think that's more embarrassing. So it depends on the celebrity, I guess. Because there are also super fans of like Kim Kardashian because she's hot. Or was. Or supposedly was. I never got it. Way too much.
Yeah.
Way too many alterations to that. Which is fine, do what you want, but not for me. But like, if you're a super fan of, like Kim Kardashian or fucking who's the bundle? What's that girl's name?
I don't know her name. Ballerina.
Her. She's got a lot of super fans. They're just gooners. That's it. That's insane. Like that's way more cringe. So I guess it depends on who.
I mean, I agree with Mike Jones here. Being a super fan of anything is just gay. True. Never like anything that much based.
Unironically true.
Like be things less.
Be a super fan of like your fucking family or something. Like holy shit. Yeah. That it's That's I actually agree with that. Actually. Like if you're like huge fan of anything or anyone that's not like your family or close friends, stop. It's fucking weird.
Well, it's weird. You know who's an insane super fan is that old guy. Somebody in chat will know that CDL lover who has the phase and optic tattoos. That's like, he seems like a nice guy, but he's not all there. There's
clearly. I already know that based on what you just told me.
You're in your 50s, I think, with like flags on your wall, jerseys. You're like trying to get their attention on Twitter. You're adding them. You've got tattoos. Like that's, I don't know, man. Do you? But that's fucking weird in my opinion. Very, very fucking weird.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, something's wrong with you. Yeah, which is fine. There are a lot of nice people who are mentally unwell. So cool. But yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, and there's something deeply, unsettlingly wrong with him. Yeah. If you're getting face tattoos in your 50s. In parentheses, obviously. So,
yeah.
So, yeah.
I forgot his name.
Anyway, yeah.
You want to thank any of these people who gave us money or subs, or should we just ignore them for the rest of the pod?
No, fuck you guys. Just kidding. NPR with a $9.99. Said Tanner specifically, show us your bald ass head, please.
Did he say that?
And then he put a question mark at the end so that it becomes a question.
Interesting.
So
that's a question.
So, yep. NPR, thank you very much for that question. And Boomerbot with a bigger super chat of 10 United States dollars based. 1% more based. Wait.
That's not. Is that 1%?
No, it's 1/100th of 1% more. Yeah. Based. Follow-up question. Where does a Disney adult, such a great question, sit amongst these fans? The bottom. At the bottom. They are the worst. being a super fan of Disney is it's Arrested Development or just pedophilic. I hate to say it, but you're unwell. If you have children, right? Or if you are a caretaker of children, then cool. Disney's probably pretty cool, provided you're a billionaire. That's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You take your kids to Disneyland and you enjoy it because your kids enjoy it. And there's probably a lot of cool shit there for children.
Yeah, but your kids also enjoy sitting in the backyard, like fucking pulling weeds or something.
Or chomping at a sprinkler. Yeah. I mean, that's also true. So maybe you don't need to take them to Disneyland. But you know what? If you have kids, I get it. Sure. But if you're just some fucking guy in his 30s, and this is only, unfortunately, tarnishing our name, millennials. And as a millennial, I disavow this behavior, but it's only millennials who are grown-ass adults who get fucking season passes to Disneyland. And they're
also incredibly overweight.
They're obese. Disgusting, yeah. No shit. Yeah. So they and their disgusting little cohort, their little coven of fucking half bald shaved head, half neon green haired lunatics go to Disneyland every fucking weekend or whatever and get really excited about, oh, the butterbeer's so good, huh? I'm Harry Potter. What the fuck are you doing there?
Butterbeer's at Universal Studios, I think.
Didn't ask. It's insane.
In fact, I know.
That it bothers me, you know that also. But yeah, don't go to Disneyland as an adult. This is the worst of everything we've said easily. Yeah. Because what are you getting out of this? Or you're like developmentally challenged. And I mean that literally. If you're like really, really dumb, I could see, like a child, right? I could see Disneyland being genuinely enjoyable for you. And that's fine too. I'm not here to pick on people with disabilities. But if you're an otherwise functioning member of society who is an adult, who enjoys going to Disneyland with other adults exclusively, what the motherfuck is wrong with you? That's insane. That's insane. So I hate them a lot, yeah. And again, something's wrong with them, yeah. Really bad.
Jaken asks, is Jake's cross being watched?
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever found somebody to watch that cross.
Watch this. Yeah. No, it's not autism, Chris. It's, I mean literally, like,
there are different levels of it though too.
Disease.
Like there are the people that show up like in their denim jackets with like all of their pins, and they trade their pins, and like they wear like it's some like straight 30-year-old guy wearing like
crash
Disney ears, and that's like fucking insane, obviously.
Okay, good. Yep.
But then there are people who also just go to go. You know what I mean? There are different levels.
Nope. I don't. Okay. If you have a season pass, I don't know what you mean at all. No, I don't. I don't believe it. I don't know.
Got it. Hope that helps.
Whether you get a season pass and collect fucking pins or not, it's still completely insane. Find a different hobby. Holy shit! Find a different hobby.
Like
it's
COD,
also
man,
so
like
if Disneyland was in your like backyard, here's the stipulation. If Disneyland is literally in walking distance of your house, fine. Get a season pass, because that actually could be fun. If it was that easy to once a month go get drunk in Disneyland, sure. But that's not the case for almost all of these Disney adults. They get in their fucking car, they get their fucking gloves ready to hold all the churros or whatever, and they get their season passes out, they've laminated them and put lanyards on them, and go to Disneyland every weekend. Why? Go to the movies. Or anything else. Or go to an amusement park. Like, here's the thing. If I were a Disney adult, why not go to like Knott's Berry Farm or Universal or something that has something for adults?
I don't think you've been to any of these theme parks within like the last 20 years.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Yeah.
No.
Knott's is
Why
like
would
Six
I? I'm an
Flags
adult.
now. You get murdered if you go there. I mean, there are just stabbings and gang fights there every week.
Yeah.
No, Knott's straight up had to create an adults only policy because a bunch of like ghetto high school kids were going and just like starting brawls. Like that was a thing where for a few months one summer, it might have been last summer or the one before,
Very farm turf
they
war,
banned kids without adults there because it was getting
insane.
fucking bad. Yeah.
You should ban adults without kids to Disneyland, but
yeah, so it was bad, but
that's funny.
Anyways. And family wearing the matching shirts, that's as bad as Disney adults, possibly even worse in my book. When a whole family and their kids is wearing the matching shirts and it's like, oh, I'm like, it has like the Disney writing and it says some dumb shit like, I'm daddy. And mom says like, I'm mommy. That's just as bad as Disney adults, man. Matching your shirts with your fucking kids. Because that's what they are. They're just Disney adults. They just so happen to have had sex and had a kid. It's not that hard to do. So they're just as embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you're right.
Here's my hot take. Any Disney super fan, fucking super lame. Super lame. Like Chris and my sister and kids, they have passes, they go. I don't consider them that level of weird though. They just go to Disneyland. They
definitely aren't.
But then there are the fans. Then there are like the super fan nerds who wear the pins and the denim jackets and they like trade all this shit and they do this and they look for the little hidden spots of like where the little Mickey ears are on certain rides. That type of family, fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a lot of them, unfortunately. So I think they're just as bad. Yeah. So I think you can be a Disney adult and be there with your kids. That's my take of the day.
You're correct. Fuck, are you correct? There are some sleeper cells in Disneyland. Yeah. Because having kids isn't enough. Agents, huh? You're right. Yeah. Fuck, are you right? Yes. Yeah. And if they're wearing fucking matching Disney shirts, that's probably a great tell. Yeah.
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 And naturally NPR has done the matching shirt thing. So that makes it's all making sense. It's making a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's all coming together now. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was also going to say about the matching shirts thing, it could be just an insane lunatic mother with a completely broken down, psychologically surrendered man as the husband. Yeah. So she's like, all right, honey, we're wearing matching shirts. And then he has the troll despair face and he says, yes, dear. And he doesn't want to fucking do it at all, but he's just trapped in this sham of a marriage. So,
dude,
that's probably
I'm looking at Google right now.
It's probably
Disney
NPR.
family matching shirts. Here's one of the setups. Okay, the little girl's shirt says, I'm just here for the snacks. And it's got like a cupcake with Mickey ears. It's got like an ice cream, blah, blah. The
and how many pounds are we working with on this one?
Well, this is like AI generated, so nothing.
Okay.
The dad's shirt says, I'm just here to pay for everything.
My God.
And then mom's shirt, this mom runs on coffee and Disney. That's a Disney adult.
That is a Disney adult. That's
fucking bad.
And let me be clear, that was much worse than I imagined. That was much worse than I imagined what matching shirts would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I run on coffee and Disney. Oh.
It's always some lame ass shit, some stupid white girl.
That is the most cringe millennial dog shit.
Okay, so my brother-in-law and my family, I guess, are Disney adults. Got it. We have matching sweatshirts that are.
Yeah, your sister made me buy and wear it.
So,
yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
But Chris is now we know, a dejected, broken husband.
Yeah.
I mean, to be made to do that, that's insane. It's fine. But you're a dejected and broken man, which is fine.
Man, yeah, that's bad stuff.
That's really bad stuff, though. Yeah, but really, I'm a huge hater of Disney adults, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, yep. So keep that in mind. Oh, but they have bars there. They have bars everywhere. Go to those.
They don't have bars. They do have better alcohol selection now from what I've seen on the internet. They got some nice looking drinks and stuff, but they don't have bars. Yeah.
Whatever.
Stupid fuck.
You know what I mean?
I wonder if there's a cigar lounge in Disneyland. Maybe I should go there tomorrow with Joey and Ben. Take a boys trip to Disneyland. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Okay. Just hate it. Yeah. So
well, any other Disney questions, guys, before we move on to the next topic? Are you?
Yeah.
Pretty bugged.
I'm just bothered.
Any final Disney questions?
Next is from I have streamer mode. Which kill streak would be the worst to experience IRL? Wow. Go to the bathroom. So do what you want.
Oh boy. I'm kind of thinking Bunker Buster. Because IRL, you know, you're in a house, you're not really getting out of there in time, I don't think, man. You know, maybe you can stand in one corner as the house just gets completely demolished by the Bunker Buster. But then you start getting gassed out. And the gas, that wouldn't be fun. It would not be fun to experience at all, IRL. Let's think about so PA. Bog standard kill streak, I don't know. I mean, it's going to kill you, but nothing real crazy about it. I think like cluster or something. Yeah, no. Doesn't matter. It's got to be Bunker Buster. Yeah. I would not want my house or building I'm in to get bunker busted at all. It'd be really bad stuff. Maybe like the PA because you have false hope being inside and it still kills you. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that originally too. Something to do with how there's no flight path for the PA anymore. So you just think you're safe. Yeah, maybe that's it actually. Because you could just get down in like a full-on, just a nuclear bunker. You're like, oh, okay, I'll be safe here. And then you're simply not because it somehow hits you through the wall. That'd be a good one, yeah. What about multiplayer though? Because it'd be worse to experience IRL. Something like the gunship, I mean, you're just immediately dead, so it doesn't matter. Chopper Gunner, if you guys want to see some cool IRL gameplay, go watch some Apache, you know, clips from Afghanistan, Iraq, whatever. Some pretty interesting stuff. The dogs wouldn't be fun. Getting mauled to death by dogs, just a pack of them. Ooh, that would be terrible, actually. That might be up there, man. The dogs? That's like really bad. Because it's not just one, it's a full pack of them. And they're just mauling you to death, you know? So I would hate that. Oh, did my internet? Oh, never mind. Okay. You guys can hear me, right? Because my like browser just crashed. My YouTube browser. But now it's working, so I guess we're good. Okay. Doing a Juggernaut suit wouldn't be too fun. Yeah, but they're also slow. You can just run away from them. That's a good thing there. So, yeah, my vote is Bunker Buster for the Warzone one and dogs, man. Those little pups. That'd be bad for multiplayer. Let's see. Thanks, Process. Oh, do I want to answer either of these? No. Marcus, I'll answer this real quick. Is it just me or is Metaphor becoming super insufferable lately? All he seems to do is cry about cheese and talk about world record, blah, blah, blah. I miss when he would just play. As far as I've known him, he's never just played the game. I'm being serious. So he's always been completely insufferable, in my opinion. And I mean, I would be too if I were a really good player who played on K-Bam. I mean, he's just dying to shit cans all day. So I would probably be the same way. Just not obese, so that's good. But yeah, he's just fucking always been that way. Dogs would be terrible. Yeah, see, that was a good one I thought of, huh? Yeah, I would not like that at all. Okay, let's look for another one. Oh, okay. Urban. If the next Call of Duty is just multiplayer and zombies, how do you proceed with content? I mean, the pods has simply ended before it gets to that point. Yeah. As soon as they say Warzone's done, then we say see ya. So that's pretty simple. I can never, ever, ever, no matter how good it was, go back to Respawn Call of Duty multiplayer and enjoy it ever again. My brain just can't at this point. So literally never. Ooh, White Phosphorus would be a tad uncomfortable. Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a really good one. Ooh. Yeah, good comms, Limuna. That's worse than a Bunker Buster, actually. White Phos would not be fun at all. Excellent kill streak. Boy, I missed that. MW19 had some fun kill streaks. Some real solid ones. So yeah, I mean, Urban, it's just, I mean, horrific shit, obviously. Multiplayer and zombies only, yeah, no, it'd be really bad. Kind of already talked about this. Tiny little bud, tiny little European ass. Do you see the new DMZ mode in MW4 being any good? Could be that they have a PvE only mode because they kind of want the same thing for a campaign. That was leaked. That's been leaked since then. That there's going to be like a, or I guess that's why you're asking. There's going to be PvE and then a PvEVP. I think DMZ will be much, much, much better than the original DMZ. In what ways I couldn't tell you, but I just feel like they're going to do a decent job of building off of what they had. And I think there's some potential there. I think there's some potential for it to be a very popular game mode. Not saying I would enjoy it, but I think it can... I mean, I think a mode like that, if Infinity Ward does it well, has the potential to like actually go head-to-head against Warzone. Because there are a lot of shit old guys who would just play DMZ, but it doesn't exist right now, so they don't. I mean, it does exist, but nobody really plays it. So if that was done well, and it's got its own map and everything, a better set of quests that are more interesting and less repetitive, and they have a PvE only, yeah, I think that would be extremely successful. So I have high hopes for it. I think it'll be done very well. It'll be the best part of iDubbbz's game next year, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, DMZ was awful, but it was super popular, apparently. Or sort of popular. I don't know.
Because we don't have a clue what anybody likes,
Yeah. So, which kill streak would be the worst to experience IRL? What about the flamethrower, man? That'd be pretty rough.
That wouldn't be good. Yeah, I wouldn't like getting flamethrowed.
Dogs is a good one. Flamethrower is a good one. White Foss is a very good one.
Yeah.
Those got to be in the top 3. So keep that in mind. Metaphor's always been insufferable. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And you would be too if you played on keyboard and mouse, as Tanner said.
And you're obese.
And yeah, that doesn't help. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, we don't proceed with content if there's no more Warzone. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no podcast about multiplayer and fucking zombies. Yeah, no shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't see the DMZ mode, whatever that's coming. I mean, I see it being better than the old DMZ we had, but I don't see it being good as far as like we're concerned. We've talked about this lots.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have nothing like really new to say on it, but yeah, basically for it to appeal to me, it would have to be more punishing than COD's willing to do. Yeah. So, biggest skill gap mechanic in COD right now. Man, I actually don't know. I mean, it's not movement. Not really aim either. Probably like positioning or something. If we're talking about Warzone. Or like honestly reaction time. Probably positioning for Warzone. Like positioning and rotates. I think like more than anything, that's probably the biggest skill gap. I don't know. I'd have to think about that more. Yeah. So anyway. How did this get... This got a ton of reacts, which bothers me. If you died, what loot would you drop IRL? What? Why did everyone like this question?
Oh, I guess, yeah, he's just asking like what we walk around with on a daily basis. What loot would we drop? My cell phone. Hope that helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I like Jake's question in chat. Hotels or Airbnbs in general? I'm a hotels guy mostly now.
Now it's hotels, yeah.
But it depends where you're staying.
Back in my day, Airbnbs were good. So that was so it depended on what you were doing. But now all I hear are horror stories about Airbnbs, and they have just so many fees, and you have to do everything yourself anyway. You might as well just go to a hotel where the price of the cleaning is included and you don't have to fucking do dishes or whatever. Yeah. So like, but yeah, I mean, I've been to a hotel obviously, and I've gotten an Airbnb as well. But hotel, this was like, man, how long? This was probably like 10 years ago that we got an Airbnb in San Diego, and it was fucking awesome. And it was better than a hotel for our purposes, because it was just like, it was me and my girlfriend, Michael and his girlfriend, Joey and his girlfriend, and then Gabe and his boyfriend, Christian. And for that many people, like, we could have gotten a hotel and it would have been fine, but you can't like hang out at night with that many people in a hotel room. It like it's not as good. But we had like a nice little house, Airbnb, 2-story. So each like couple had their own room, and it was like, it had like, common area. Obviously it was a house. So we were like hanging out. We would go out to the beach or whatever, drink and stuff. And then we would, like get super drunk again, continue to drink and stuff, and like hang out and blast music and shit. So like Airbnb is better for that type of scenario. But like if it were like me and someone visiting somewhere, like going to Hawaii, for example, we're absolutely getting a hotel room. Why would I need an Airbnb unless it's like a big group of people? And even then, if I'm going to Hawaii, I'm getting a hotel anyway. But like nowadays, Airbnbs, I guess, fucking suck. I don't know. Like everything I see is just like horror stories about it. I'm sure some of them are good, but I just err on the side of hotel now. Because hotels, you also know what you're getting. That's the thing. Like if I go to a Motel 6, I know what I'm getting. There are going to be cockroaches. Someone's going to try and jimmy my lock at night.
Yeah.
But if I put the bolt, I should be fine. Whatever. Or if I go to a Hilton, it's going to be nice. And the water's going to be hot. Maybe. And I don't have to do dishes or whatever. Or the fucking resident isn't going to like walk by with his fucking shirt off in the backyard in the outhouse. Like none of that will not happen. You know what you're getting at a hotel. Airbnb is kind of a crapshoot. So
ultimately it just comes down to where you're going to. But generally now I'm more of a hotel person. I was big on Airbnb for years. Back when everyone else was too. I mean, it was nothing out of the ordinary.
They fell off
why
hard.
the fuck would I stay in a hotel when I could stay at an Airbnb? It's cheaper. Stay in like these cool houses. 'Cause a lot of them end up being nice, but like just totally depends. 'Cause like when we went to Italy, dude, hotels there were fucking outrageous. Like the prices of a nice Airbnb were like genuinely like 25% of the price. Like the hotels there were crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing there. But then also they're cool Airbnbs because like they're in these old ass buildings and they like make them all nice looking inside. They have like interesting layouts you're not used to. Just because, it's a different country, obviously. So things were just a lot different. It's kind of cool. But like even somewhere like Big Bear, you're doing an Airbnb because you want to rent a cabin. You're not just staying in a hotel in Big Bear, right? It makes more sense to rent a cabin, which would be an Airbnb,
Yeah, that's probably...
So just depends where you're going.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like Hawaii, I've done both. Resort's dope if you're going as a couple, but like like you were saying, why the fuck would I need an Airbnb? Like that's where we stayed last year, and that's where we're staying this year. But it's because there's 6 of us, so you rent a house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. Yeah. It's not really an Airbnb. It's just a house rental, whatever. But it's like same thing.
Shit.
You know, you do your dishes. You don't have a housekeeper at all during the week. You have the whole house to yourself. Mm-hmm. So, but Airbnb has fallen off a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. Anyway, what are some of the worst ground loot guns ever in Warzone? Oh no. The PU Stinky with an 8x telescopic sight on it is one that's in right now.
Yeah,
that's one of them.
Not great.
There have been so many fucking terrible ones, man. I don't know. Oh, you know what the worst ground loot guns have been, actually? And they've done this a couple times. Any gun that is without any attachments, fully automatic, but the ground loot, for some reason, some of it, but not all of it, has the 3-round burst mod on, and you just don't know until you're dead. They've done this, I think, like 4 times maybe in the last 5 years. So it'll be like, I can't think of any specific guns, but I know they've done this. Let's say it's the fucking AK-47. There would be ground loot AKs that have no attachments. They would be full auto. There would be ground loot AKs with 1 attachment, and it would be like stippled grip tape. Cool. We're cooking. So that color would be green, by the way. And then there would be another ground loot AK with 1 attachment that is also green, but it doesn't have stippled grip tape. It has 1 attachment, and it's the fucking 3-round conversion kit attachment. And you just don't know until you're dead because you tried shooting full auto and it wasn't. They've done that multiple times. That is the worst ground loot gun easily. Yeah. That's gotta be it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They've since fixed this problem, by the way, but it took them, as usual, way too fucking long. And in the next integration, they'll do it again because they love to break shit, fix it, and then re-break it for no reason.
Yep.
And even though no one asked for that, so I hope that helps.
Yeah. Let's answer Tomato's question, chat. How come a game like Siege, Rainbow Six Siege, where camping is encouraged and there's a fast TTK, is seen as high skill? Will anytime any of those things happen in COD, it's seen as brain dead and cringe?
It isn't.
For one, Siege has fallen off a lot. At least since I used to play it, it's a completely different game now. It did not used to be that slow at all. It takes so long to ADS now. The movement speed is like non-existent. It used to be faster, and they slowed it down substantially. So to me, it kind of does look like a really shit game now. But there's just more, I don't know, I guess there's more tactic involved in a game like that because you have your little abilities. You have to work with your squad. To, breach walls and do certain things, put cameras under doors, stuff like that. So I guess just a lot more teamwork. But then, COD, people just camp in corners and do the same thing if we're talking like COD multiplayer. And why is it seen as brain dead and cringe? Because the game's fast to begin with. So when you're not playing, like, that's just how you have to play Siege. That's the way everybody plays. You're forced to play that way because you can't move. But in a game like COD, where you can like dive around, slide around, jump around, and there's some guy just always sitting in a corner ADS, that's why it's brain dead and cringe. Because it's like, why are you playing this way? Like that person's just also doing worse when they do that. They would be playing better if they just moved around.
Yeah. I think if you're comparing Rainbow Six Siege to COD, you really have to compare Siege to like Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
And if you're comparing those, I don't think people think of COD Search as brain dead and cringe. They think of, or I'll speak for myself, they think of it as boring as fuck. And cringe also. But if people think of COD Search as brain dead and cringe, which they might, even though they don't think of that about Siege, it's probably also in large part due to the fact that Siege has this cool new feature called footstep audio that COD doesn't have. No one playing Search ever has footstep audio. There's always a mechanic in every fucking game that's either ninja or like dead silence the field upgrade. And there's just no, and I'll never understand how that's more skillful than hearing footsteps. Actually, this is a good question. Is there good footstep audio in Counter-Strike?
I mean, it's pretty loud. That's why people are forced to walk in a lot of areas.
Okay.
That's why because walking makes zero sound.
I see. Ooh, yikes. Okay. But still, there is footstep audio. Yes. In every game that's worth a fuck, that is search and destroy like. And COD doesn't have that. So that's probably another reason. And Call of Duty, as someone said earlier, maybe it was you, has insane aim assist. Rainbow Six Siege has some, Counter-Strike has none. That's another reason it's brain dead and cringe, probably, is because people have to aim mostly themselves or entirely themselves. Whereas in COD, you don't. As someone who plays on controller now and has done both, you don't. You don't have to aim. It's easy. The game does it for you. You pull your left trigger and you are on target, and I hope that helps. So yeah, that's another reason. So I can't believe people enjoy COD ranked multiplayer of any stripe because there's no footstep audio. I'll never get it. It's so fucking boring. Holy shit, it's ass. I wish there were footsteps, because then I'd actually like play ranked unironically sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's not fun at all. Like, it's so stupid. So anyway. What's something you did
by the way?
Wrong for months? 56.
Oh wow. Okay.
Before realizing in Warzone, it's really dragging for you, huh?
Something you did wrong for months before realizing.
NPR's answered this question. Raz played on K-Bam for years like an idiot. That's it. Yeah. Other than that, nothing really, because, and this is what I always say, actually, you should be getting a video game. The first thing you do, if there's any competitive multiplayer at all, is open your settings and go through all of them. So I do that all the time, every time, for any game I play, including not multiplayer ones, so that this never happens to me. But we've all heard the story of some fucking CDL pro who 3 years after he's been playing is like, oh shit, my monitor's refresh rate has been on 60 this whole time. And he spent $8 million on a 400 hertz monitor. I can't believe that would happen to anyone. Like, that's so crazy to me.
And that's
But it
common.
happens to a lot of people who just don't go through their fucking settings. Yeah, you gotta go through the settings. But yeah, not playing on controller, to be more precise, with aim assist is what I did wrong for months and months, and then years. The months rolled into years. Yeah. The game's much more fun on controller, guys. By the way.
Yeah, I can't think of one specifically, but I think there was some like setting last year that I realized like you guys had on, and I was like, "What is this?" You guys are like,
motion blur.
And I no, don't say I was playing with motion blur on. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but anyways, yeah, I don't know, nothing major that I can think of.
Yeah, this is Also, if it's that big of a deal, you're usually going to notice it. No, that's not necessarily true, I guess. A lot of people, like, I don't know. Anyway. Let's see. Why the update requires restart? Great question. Great question. I'll never know. I will never know. No game ever in history, ever, has had update requires restart.
Nope.
Literally.
Yeah, not a single game.
I can't think of a single other game ever. Yeah, I don't get it. So. I hate them. But anyway. Between BR and Resurgence mains, who's fucking better? Asks Process.
BR.
Yeah.
The Resurgence mains that you probably think of are sweaty and good, but they're also always 2-boxing, so they don't have competition. So that's why they look that good. Whereas BR mains like that are playing in sweaty BR lobbies, they're just playing against good players all the time. So I think they're generally more skilled.
Yeah.
Typically less flashy, more actual skill versus Resurgence mains who just try to be real flashy.
Yeah. Yep. This is also a question of like, I don't know if being a BR main makes you a better player than being a Resurgence main necessarily. I think it probably actually doesn't, but the best players are going to be attracted more to big map. So that's where all the best players are. Not because big map makes them better than Resurgence mains, but because the better players are more attracted to the big map than Resurgence.
Yeah.
Because that's where, until this season, that's where ranked has been most of the time. That's where the viewership has been. That's where the official events have been for the most part. So the best players go play that and become mains of that. So, like, if World Series of Warzone was only on Rebirth, the best players would be Resurgence mains. And if that's where the viewership was on Twitch, actually, the best players would be Resurgence mains, but it's not. So, yeah. I think that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, just like the NBA has better basketball players than the fucking Euro League or something. Like, there's a ton of Europeans in the NBA. Why? That's where the money is. So, like, a good European, they could play Euro League, or they could play in the NBA. They're going to go play in the NBA, because that's where the money is, because that's where the viewership is. So, does playing in the NBA make you better? Probably also, but it's more yeah, you get it. So anyway, any good cues in the C, which is for chat?
No.
Is it all dog shit?
There haven't really been any.
Got it.
I mean, Biggie asked this. I don't think I have an answer.
Answer this.
Have you ever got food from a place with low expectations and was surprised with how good it was? What about the opposite?
Interesting. I'm sure I have. I can't think of an answer, though.
It's not real interesting, but there's some like Mexican place in Pomona that had good reviews. Like one of the ghetto ass places. And the food I got, like I got home and it was just like so fatty and greasy. It was like fucking disgusting, man. It was really gross. And the place had a shit ton of reviews. It was very popular on Yelp and stuff. And I was like, dude, it's like the carne asada is like half just straight up chopped up pieces of fat and it's just covered in grease. It was so nasty. And it was just disgusting eating all that grease. So that was shit. And I think about it every time I drive by that place.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know.
Low expectations? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have a... Why did you ask this?
McDonald's, man. That's
what
your
about
answer.
It?
You just had it a few weeks ago and you said it was better than you remember.
Oh, yeah,
right?
You're right. Yeah, I got...
You had zero expectations.
I had low expectations, yeah. My dad was like craving McDonald's a couple weeks ago. And I was like, okay, sure. So I'll get it for us. So he was like, yeah, get me a quarter pounder and like other shit. I don't remember. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try a quarter pounder. Like I didn't know it existed. Like I usually didn't get burgers from fucking McDonald's, but if I would, I just got like a normal burger, which is a mistake because the quarter pounder is much better. It's pretty good, actually. Like actually pretty good. Surprised. 100% ground beef, real beef or whatever. That's what I always say. Supposedly, by the way, the macros for like a bunch of the McDonald's shit is like very good. This is like a thing. You guys should look into this if you care. It's funny. On like bodybuilding forums and shit, there's like a quasi meme. Like it's sort of a meme, but it's not really because it's actually true, I guess. Where if you look at like the nutritional facts of a bunch of shit on the McDonald's menu, the macros are like really good and cheap. That's like cheap for all the macros you get or whatever. It's pretty fucking funny. And they say like obviously,
I think I've heard that.
Yeah, it's like obviously not the French fries, but like you can get whatever, like a quarter pounder, like a double quarter pounder, and it has like a fuck ton of protein. It has some carbs because you want some carbs if you're a bodybuilder or whatever. And it's like really good macros for the cost or whatever. I remember seeing that for the first time. I was like, fuck, that is funny, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
McDonald's is healthy, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you DoorDash on that, or are you going to pick it up?
I don't know. I'll probably dash it.
What did you do last time?
I dashed it.
It's outrageous.
Close. It's close, though. It's really close.
That's outrageous, man. You got to go there and get it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking rip off.
It is. Yeah.
I can't wait for like DoorDash to die like Airbnb did, man. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of them ripping people off. Cocksuckers.
The real rip-off is
it's your own fault.
Tipping. Yeah. That's where the real rip-off is. That's where the real cost is.
Yep.
Although, it's all expensive anyway.
Never tip your DoorDash driver. That's what I always say.
Yeah. It's a great way to get your food spit in. Oh, what?
I was thinking about Steel Switch's question, but let's answer it. You have to add one perk to Warzone, Martyrdom, or Last Stand. Which do you pick, and which would be worse? I mean, Last Stand would be worse because they can shoot me. So definitely that one. Martyrdom, sure, they drop a grenade, but I could be 100 meters away. I guess even if I'm 100 meters away, they can't shoot me. But I think Martyrdom would overall be, if I had to pick one, that'd be the one.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends what pistol. No, yeah, they're both pretty bad. They're both really bad, actually. Yeah, I don't know. They'll add both, don't worry. Because they're both awful. Alright, Caveman, what is the average fucking KD for a moderate Warzone player? I work 12-hour shifts and only get on the game a few hours a week. Oh, wow. Boy, do I have a playlist for you. I have a 2.2 KD. When was this posted? Oh, recently. You mean ED, probably.
A week ago.
With 290 games played, and was wondering if that was average. I don't really know. So you listed 2.2 KD. You probably mean ED, because the game doesn't tell you your KD. So the only way you could know your KD in Warzone is if you had a spreadsheet every single game you played and tracked your kills and deaths. Because the game fucking sucks. They don't give you this information. So a 2.22 ED, I have no idea. I actually have no clue if that's like good or not. It's almost certainly above average though. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
But like how far above average is that? I don't know. But that's like almost certainly above average. Because also, that could be your KD if you only play solos. Because that's another thing. If you play a bunch of quads, you're going to have a higher ED than someone that plays like solos only, obviously. Or even duos and solos. Like your ED will just naturally, almost certainly be higher if you play a bunch of trios or quads. So, I mean, it's really dumb that they don't track it. And I hate it. But if you did have a 2.22 KD, you would be very good. That's way above average. That's really good. Because the average player is like, depends what you mean by average, but the mean average is like 0.87, 0.88. So 2.2 KD would be fucking nuts. That's really good. But yeah, I don't know. As far as ED, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I only have erectile function.
More. And we're done, by the way.
That's it. Is that all she wrote?
I mean, we only have like 3 more questions in here, so we got to save them now.
Yeah, that's an excuse. That's fine.
I'm pinning that, so that's been pinned.
Okay, pin the motherfuck out of it. All right, great work. Yeah, that's fucking it, guys. Tanner's gonna go get stabbed at the Zion National Park Fair.
Maybe. See.
So we'll see, or shot, one of the two.
Would you rather have me do?
Stabbed.
What would you rather have me receive? Really?
A stabbing, okay. Yeah, because that would be more visceral and terrifying.
Yeah.
And you die more slowly, more likely. Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
So keep that in mind, and I hope that happens. But yeah, that's fucking it. So we'll be back next week. We'll have shit to talk about next week. We have season 4 coming, so we'll go over those patch notes. And we'll do first imps, which is short for impressions. Thank you to Chris,
our Twitch subs?
NPR, B Praise, and Pim, and only you guys. Yes, I just did that
earlier. Okay, you just did it right now. I guess for the first time.
No, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. The Twitch was before. Yeah, stupid fuck. Stupid idiot fuck. Accident does play their game.